It's about 1 hour, 10 minutes into today's trading. Now, heading straight to the capital market. The market has crossed 52,000 reading at the moment. It's good news, but let's quickly take a look at what happened or what went down in the capital market at the close of trading on Tuesday. Nigerian stock market retracted to close negative at the end of Tuesday's session. Looking at the all share index, declining by 0.19% to close at 51,805.41 basis point against the 1.9% gain recorded the previous trading section. In Naira terms, the NGX market capitalization recorded about 52.35 billion Naira loss at the close of Tuesday. The total volume traded declined by 1.79% to close at 337.5 million, valued at 5.5 billion at the close of trade in about 7,000 dues. GT company was the most traded stock by volume with 51.96 million units of shares traded, while GT Co was the most traded stock by value with about 1.23 billion naira. Sectoral performances in terms of the sector was broadly positive as 8 of NGX sector indices closed northwards, 6 closed southward, while about 4 closed flat at the close of tradings on Tuesday. The NGS insurance index stopped with about 2.14% gain at the close of all the closing yesterday, talking about market breadth, about 33 gainers against 13 losers at the close of yesterday. Against 55 stock on change. Okomo still in the news, topping the list of gainers as NARCO topped the list of losers. But let's quickly take a look at the market yesterday now. Yes, of course, today's has crossed the 52,000 readings, doing about over 1% already. Mr. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited, is here with me to look at the market yesterday, just before we get into yesterday's market. You've seen the impressive rally already. I would say perhaps, would you say it's too early? This market, the jump alone, just in 1 hour of market.
Less than 1 hour,
opening,
just about
less than 1 hour.
That at 8 minutes.
Okay, doing more than 1% already. So how do you react?
No, it's expected. Now, I said it yesterday that the pullback we saw yesterday was as a result of profit taking in the high capital stock, especially when MTN declined marginally. The life of Nigeria Brewery,
right.
So Zenith Bank. These are just stocks that pull back the market. If you look at the market breadth, as you just said, it was a positive one, and we saw buying volume about almost 71% buying volume and 29% sell volume. It tells you that the buyers are still in charge in the market as yesterday. This morning, I'm not surprised at seeing that same MTN that lost yesterday gaining more than what they lost yesterday. Now trading around the 60, 69 as we speak now. Yesterday closed at 40 to 240 yesterday. For me, it's a good one. This is what expected that now that today result has hit the market, so will be another push for the market. When I say that today, expecting the Airtel result to come, that it will change the face of the market. If you look at the price of Airtel and that of MTN, these are the two stocks that are really pushing the market. We see that as we speak now, Dangote Cement is relaxing, Boa Cement is relaxing. The two telecom companies are the one pushing the market up now, which is good for the market. It tells you where investors should look at. I said earlier that these are the sectors that are impacting positively on the GDP of Nigeria to speak now. As expecting that our Q1 GDP will be positive, and also the inflation figure that we're expecting. Don't forget that for the last 5 months, we have seen inflation on the uptick, and who believe that for this month of April, once inflation crossed 16%, yes, that will also put more pressure on those in fixed income market. And don't forget that in this country, when the inflation is as high as 18 points, we still have our interest rate remain around 11.5. Don't forget that this benchmark we're having about 11.5 was done around September 2020. To date, we're still leaving it flat to date. It tells you that this is what has supported the economy. But I believe that in the next MPC meeting, the CBN or his team are not giving us any signal they're going to adjust it. If that is also retained, then until we cross over to second half, where we expect this, like I just said yesterday, these regional activities, these political activities coming up, that funds will enter the economy in terms of liquidity. They might start to be a hike in the second half of the year. But I believe that what the market is doing now, any designer investor know that these are the times to position in good stock, but don't be greedy. Once you make profit,
I know you always say don't be greedy. I mean, every investor, invest. They want to come into the market because
Yes.
they want to make profit.
Profit.
So how do you differentiate between being greedy and, of course, the target, which is the profit, of course, here?
A market where you have more trader than investor, because our market is dominated by traders, because they want to make 15%, 20% and go out of their position. The era of making 100%, yes, there are some stocks are giving us 100%, but they are very few. But for you to protect your capital and manage your fund very well, don't be greedy. Once you enter, that is why you need to up your game in technical analysis. You know exactly when the sentiment or the buying strength is weak, they cannot jump out. There are some stocks that will take you up, the same stock will bring it down, because I tell people that when the party is, everybody is dancing. Once the party is off, or the music is off, you want to go out, the door will be very uncomfortable to pass. That is why, as a good trader, you don't wait until when everyone is leaving their position before you start taking. That is why you must set your target when you are entering. Use your stop loss, have your entry and exit strategy. That is the best to go. Like this morning, I know most of the investors are smiling, but there are a few stocks that are going up. And the good thing that as they are going up, they are dragging some stock. You can see that the healthcare industry is becoming more attractive now. We saw the life of me and Baker gaining 10% yesterday. We saw the life of GSK. We also see fixing for almost 2 weeks on the uptrend. Now we're seeing that sector. That means investors are becoming more designed in terms of decision where we should go, where we should not go. That is why I said, if the MPC meeting, they leave inflation, what's it called, MPR 11.5. You see this market will still hit, it was 55,000 mark before the end of the month.
I mean, I'm just wondering though, looking at the market, which has gone up, crossing 52,000 mark now. I mean, there's this general notion that once the market is rising, of course, one has to be cautious to ensure that he doesn't burn his fingers.
Exactly.
Do we expect a pullback soon, or how long do we expect this trend to continue before a pullback happens?
For me, I would say pullback is already underway, because this is the second month of the second quarter of the year.
Because I expected that the losses we experienced yesterday, the pullback we experienced yesterday, perhaps may continue for a long time. But now we're seeing the market.
I said yesterday that it will continue, because we saw that we have about 36 gainers yesterday and just 13 losers yesterday, and we saw the life of MTN and Guinness and Nigeria Brewery and Zenith Bank on the loser start. That the one that put the market. If you look at, we have more position taking. That's why I said, when I said that the buying position or buy volume as I yesterday was 71%, while selling position was around 29%. It says that you have buyers in control or buyer in charge of the market. I said once Airtel result hit the market, Airtel will pay dividend, and Airtel has March as year end. We're going to see order now that Airtel has opened a kind of the March year account full year result. Right. Now we'll see others following the life of Flower Mill, life of Honeywell, University Press, Academic Press, and others. What's it called, Resta, all of them resume their result between now and end of June. Right. That was going to impact the market, depending on what they are paying. But we have seen that results that came from the December account were positive. We expect that the March account also should maintain that trend. That was also going to influence the market. For me, investors should not be carried away with the generation.
The question I'm asking is, how long do we expect this bullish run?
I said
to continue before we experience a
I said that the correction is underway.
Okay.
It's underway. I mean that it can happen any moment, because once you are making good profit, you have hit your target, nothing stops you from taking. And when you are selling, but the good thing is that we are seeing that the global market is still struggling, while our market here is making trend. And that is why I say people that most factors that influence our market, yes, is this crude oil price, and at the same time foreign portfolio position in our market. But because we have less of foreign portfolio in the market, it's a plus for the market. That is why, as market is generating, these local institutional investors, fund managers and retail investors, they want to move in the market. If you had to before, like as the market is making now, what is happening in advanced market would have also reflect the market silent now. But because they have less portion of the market, and we have our people here being pre-election year, we're not seeing the impact yet. But once we enter the second half of the year, seeing the outcome of all this primary, the presidential primary election, all those stuff, will give investors insight where the economy is going, or the country is going in terms of the election. That will also influence the market. But I believe for now, this trend will continue. But a wise investor, a wise trader should know that take profit as at when you don't be carried away. Once you meet your target, that is time to sell.
Let's look at some of the gainers for yesterday. If you look at multiverses in that category, coming in the second place is May and Baker. You have Okomo Oil and Champion, and then of course you have other stock there. With for Okomo Oil, I mean, I just want to ask, what is driving this particular rally we're witnessing in this stock, doing about 17 naira in a day, more than I mean you can't do more than 10%. If not, would have recorded. I would have recorded more than 10%. But 17 naira, I mean, it's on the high side. I mean, it's impressive in a day.
It tells you that there is high demand for the stock. It's just like simple, economics, demand and supply. When there's demand for a stock and there's less supply, price are bound to go up. And the shareholding structure of this company is tight, and they have less, share in issue. Just below 1 billion share in issue, around 900 and something million shares, not up to 1 billion. For me, that is why they are saying this position. Also, the same thing applied to Presco. For me, if you are seeing Okomo around there, 187, and Presco have not released audited result, have not released Q1, and there's already notification that they're likely to give a bonus share. For me, that price also, that is why when Presco was doing 178, Okomo was at 170. The next day, Okomo does override the Presco. That means that trend is there because there is something driving their earnings. I will tell you, the earnings we are seeing from this sector, this is the best and the first in the history of the market.
Well, let's look at other small cap stock like Multiverse doing about 2% or 10% yesterday. That's about 2 kobo at the close of Tuesday. You have May and Baker with just about 4 naira 84 kobo in one day. I beg your pardon, 44 kobo in one day and closing at 4 naira 84 kobo. Representing 10%. You also have Champion. The shares of Champions also went up by about 36 kobo as well. Give us a bit of analysis of some of these stocks. I mean, what is going for them? What is supporting? What support level do they enjoy? And why do you think investors are still holding their position in some of these stocks?
As I've said earlier that for the healthcare sector, this is time investors taking position. And also, there's one thing investors should understand in equity investment. Each stock has different characteristics and they move at different time. When stock A is moving up, don't expect B will follow immediately. They have their own time.
Right.
That means if you have that at the back of your mind as an investor, know that each stock will respond as at when due. Okay, I told them in one of the meetings that, yes, about 2 days ago or 3 days ago, we saw Nigeria government and Cuba government signing agreement on to go into vaccine production. And you look at ask yourself, food company in Nigeria has the capacity in that healthcare sector that can go into vaccine production. One is May and Baker, 2 is fixing. But whatever that's going to happen in that industry will influence fixing price, May and Baker, GSK, Nimet, Pharmadeco, and others that are related in that industry. For me, once that has happened, I'll tell you any moment from now, since the agreement that we signed, you can see production coming. And we don't know where it's going to. They're going to start from fixing. We're going to start from May and Baker. For an investor in that, you should design that where you should, every investment is against expectation. Now that you have this news, start positioning ahead. But when this thing is happening, it's going to influence their numbers, impact their number positively, because it's not going to be only a Nigeria market for the vaccine. It's going to be for Africa. For me, I think that is why we're seeing kind of shift into that sector now, because I also don't forget that yes, COVID-19 has subsided to speak now, but I think we need to also look inward and see that let's have the capacity to produce all these things within Nigeria, so that our ministers, our government officers will stop going to abroad. If we can do all these things here, don't need them traveling for it. That means we don't put all of them here in Nigeria. That means our efforts also will conserve for traveling abroad for treatment. For me, it's a good one for the sector, and I believe that that's also going to impact going forward into their activities in 2022 financial year. For the life of the Champion Brewery, we can see that all the brewery companies in the last Q1 number and in 2021 will see improved performance because of post COVID-19 lockdown has been suspended. People are not going out for their party and all those stuff. We can see that consumption has increased. That's also reflecting on the brewery activities. That's why they are going up. Simple.
Let's look at the NARCO, the flip side now. NARCO topped the chart yesterday in terms of those stocks that lost. You have NARCO losing about 28 kobo in one day to close at 6.51 kobo at the close of Tuesday. You have Mutual Benefit also losing about 1 kobo. Wema Bank is in that category. Yes, MTN, even though they are doing well, of course, is back in the red yesterday. But I want us to chart a course, or perhaps give us a chart for NARCO, Nigeria Aviation Handling Company. Do you think that they are also feeling the heat in what is going on in the aviation industry, looking at the jetty one that is so expensive, operators can't even have access to it because they have to pay high for them to even fly or to start operating? What do you think is responsible for this decline we're seeing?
The decline we are seeing in NARCO is not in regard to that. It's just market sentiment and profit taking. This is a company that announced a 41 kobo dividend and 145 bonus, moved from as low as 3 naira to almost 7 naira. Naturally, you are starting to see profit taking. That means from 3 naira to 7 naira is more than 100%. People are selling to take profit. For me, there's nothing wrong with that. Like what you just said, the aviation fuel thing won't affect them much, because even if the government and the NNPC have agreed to give the industry for the next 3 months fuel, that means even the accused to show, but that means there will be activities in the port. There will be people in the airport. For me, it won't affect them much, unless when there is total grandeur, like if they propose the strike, went on and that is why I say to affect. But for now, it won't affect them. But what is seeing that position as we speak now is just profit taking activities. Like what I just said, that will happen in MTN yesterday. It's just profit taking that pulled MTN down, which you can see in the market ocean index here, that we saw a kind of a pullback. But the good thing is that we are seeing a resistance in that pullback after market has lost about almost 0.4 in the afternoon. We closed at 0.19. Said that there was a kind of a buy interest again that pushed the market up. For me, it's a good one. MTN, I know that yesterday was just profit taking activity. This morning, kind of stock have rebound already, going up. You can see this sign, but this sign here is a sign of a pullback. But what we are seeing this morning, you can see that it has reversed already, which I wrote in one of my articles this morning, that market is likely to rebound because what we're expecting Airtel result. And Airtel result that came was a fantastic number. I told you that this sector, the telecom, is a good sector for people to put their money, because a lot of factors is impacting their cash flow, which also reflected in Airtel number, just as it did in MTN number. For me, it's a good sector. That's why I see the market is already up, because when Airtel was to gain this morning, tell me where the market is going. Already, MTN is going. Market has crossed the 52,000 mark. Tells you that we're already approaching the peak of the market in 2008. For me, it's a good one for the market, because we have seen new companies listed on the exchange. We have seen the ones that are listed performing well. The old ones there have sustained growth, payout. That also supported the market to come back to this level. For me, it's a good one. Like I just said earlier, have your stop loss. Take away emotion from your investment decision. Don't be carried away with the market galloping. Take your profit as at when do. That is what only investors should do at this time. Don't say because the market is galloping, let me just be smiling. The way you are smiling, the day you open your eyes, market is on the downturn. That is why, as it's going up now, it's time to sell into an up market and buy into a down market.
I want us to look at one final stock before we leave. Okay. The Regency Alliance Insurance, they're losing about 1 kobo yesterday. Yes, I know that there's not been quite a lot of activity in the insurance sector. Yes, even though we've seen a bit of, yesterday we saw that, of course, the sector did very well with about 2.14%. But yes, some of the stock listed on that particular segment of the market not doing well at all, with about 0.1% or about 3.33% decline for the shares of Regency Assurance, Alliance Insurance. So what do you suppose investors do regarding this?
I would say, if you look at the chart for Regency as we speak, I will tell you that stock is not looking good technically. If you look at the chart here, you can see that it's selling below the T line. It tells that the stock is weak until the stock break out here and come up above the T line. It tells that the stock is, for now, you can see that it's, for more than 6 trading days, it has been on the decline. Tell you that the market is not favoring the stock for now. This is on the daily chart. For me, it's okay. Let's investor wait until crossover. As you just said, there's expectation in that sector, but we have not seen reflecting on the price of this equity in the industry. But I believe that once they conclude their capitalization and also reform that is going on in the industry, it's going to impact a lot of them. But as we speak now, Regency is not looking good for investors that want to trade the stock, or traders should just exercise patience until cross back the T line before we can start buying. Well, let me just check on a weekly chart what has happened in that stock for a weekly chart. We've just done a daily chart. Even on the daily and weekly chart, it's not looking good at all. Investors should keep away from this stock as we speak now.
Well, what are your most 3 sectors to watch for the day?
Yeah, I would say I'll start with the telecoms. It's always been my sector.
Because you have Airtel, the heavyweight telecom,
and the
company they're pushing
the industrial goods and the construction. Then we'll add the healthcare. You can see that healthcare is coming up now. These are sectors you look at this morning. But I expect that the banking will rebound, especially when we cross over to the second half of the year and there is hike in interest rate. That's why I see the bank also taking. But for now, the bank is sleeping.
Well, I mean, the bank is sleeping, but they are making money.
Yeah,
if you look at it, I mean,
it's not reflecting.
They can always make money 24 hours.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but
sleeping.
the numbers are not reflecting it now on their prices.
I mean, it's okay. Perhaps we'll have to. That's another discussion for another day.
No problem.
But on this note, I want to thank you for coming on the program, Mr. Ambrose Omodon, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.